will come to order.
Okay, if everyone can stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Let's start off with some introductions. I've got Kevin Metcalf, Board Director, Wayne Staples, Board CFO and Vice President, Jackie Snedden, Board President, Jean Sandoval, Board Secretary, Eric Czar, our Assistant General Manager. I'm Jerry Mupo, your General Manager. We also have Cindy Graves, our Activities Director, and Tad Creasy, our Regional Manager. All right, so just a couple of announcements. As a reminder, the 15th of January is the deadline to remove your holiday decorations. However, with last week being an El Nino storm come through, we are going to extend it for another week, so you guys have an opportunity to get up there and take down your beautiful decorations. Also, as everyone knows, our annual meeting and board election is coming up. We're starting the election process. We've got our district delegate candidate statements in, and next week the ballots will be mailed out. And so I ask that everybody please vote and return your ballot as soon as you have selected your candidate. We will hold a Meet the District Delegate Candidates Night on February 11th at 6 p.m. So if you want to come and meet your candidates before you vote, you're welcome to do so. The actual election date will be February 25th. We'll have Meet the Board Candidate evening on March 3rd, and that's a Thursday night from 6 o'clock until about 7 or 7:30 or so. We are going to take homeowner questions. We're asking that you submit your questions in advance. Make sure that they are of a general nature that applies to the HOA. And also remember that they should be questions that candidates that have not served on the board can easily answer as well. So keep that in mind. Last announcement is at the Planning Commission meeting on Tuesday night, Rec Center 3 was approved by the commission. So KHOB will begin on our Rec Center 3. Very excited about having that. So we'll go ahead and start our homeowner input. This is limited to 3 minutes per homeowner, and only one request to speak form may be submitted per homeowner. There will be no sharing or passing of time to another person. Homeowner input may be held for a maximum period of 30 minutes before the board meeting begins to allow the board to proceed with the business portion of the meeting. This portion of the meeting is limited to board participation only. Residents are welcome and encouraged to stay for the full meeting to witness the business of the corporation taking place by your governing agents. So we'll go ahead and start with our first speaker, which is Elizabeth Westbrook.
Good afternoon. I've been a resident here since 2008, and I'm talking about the computer room. The original room had 10 computers provided by the builder. I will assume the 10 computers took into account the total population of the community at final build-out. During the recent remodeling and incorporation of the old sales office, the computer room was downsized 70%, down to 3 computers. It was explained that due to a survey utilization at that time, 3 computers would suffice. It's unknown to my husband and me, to others who have spoken, how the survey was conducted. My husband and I felt that the survey was flawed and did not take into account of our future growth. Currently, on numerous occasions, all computers are in use, with other residents waiting. As the community continues to grow, which it will, this problem will only get worse. Just yesterday, I met a resident who's just lived here for a year, and when she looked into that room, she thought, is this a joke? The old computer room had ample space to accommodate all users comfortably without bumping into each other's chairs. As of now, the small volume of the new space is not conducive to good indoor air quality. For example, someone coughing or sneezing, you would immediately be breathing in. When we moved into this community in 2008, one of the major selling features was the spacious facilities available to us. To see the computer room shrink to 30% of the original space and our community more than doubled is ludicrous. There seems to be excess space available in the newly acquired all sales building to accommodate the current and future usage of the computer room. Thank you for your cooperation.
Thank you. Our next speaker is Niall Sundstrom.
4 miles.
You would think I have a fan club. My name is Niall Sundstrom. I reside at 268 Kings Canyon. And Madam President, board members, thank you for the opportunity to speak here today. We, the Ping Pong Club, greatly appreciate this community. And we especially appreciate so many specified rooms or playing areas for a variety of activities. Some of these rooms are named for the activity that takes place there. For example, we have the arts and crafts room for art. We have the aerobics room for aerobics. We have the billiards room, the computer room, the game room, the ballroom, the movie theater room, etc. One of the activities missing a room with a designated name is the table tennis. We are a growing group with approximately 50 members. There are more than 35 active members in our club, and many more whose schedule only permits them to play occasionally. Sometimes players spend more time waiting their turn to play than they do playing. This is a frustrating and disappointing circumstance. It discourages some players from even playing at all. While we are trying hard to keep healthy and enjoy our sport, it is difficult to do so under these conditions. Jackie, Wayne, Jean, Kevin, I know that you are aware of this, but if you will indulge me for a second, I'll say it anyway. We are in desperate need of an adequate table tennis room. The table tennis club is sometimes maybe a victim of its own success. We have outgrown the current room we share with other groups. We are currently playing table tennis 6 days a week with schedule times from 10:30 to 1. The advanced players schedule special times in the afternoon so they can have their own challenging games. For residents that work during the day, we have scheduled Tuesday and Thursday evenings for ping pong. In addition to this, people that are not even part of our organized table tennis group often come in during the afternoons and evenings to play on their own. Because of this high frequency of using the aerobics room for ping pong, we respectfully ask that you would consider naming the new fitness room in Rec Center 3, if indeed we are allowed to move there, the table tennis room. We also ask that this venue would be built to standards for table tennis. For example, a ceiling that is high enough for ping pong balls. Right, currently our ping pong balls often hit the ceiling, and it does that, and when it does that, it negates a perfectly good return that should score points.
Niall?
Yes.
You have 3 minutes.
Okay, have I taken 3 minutes?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Do you have that in writing? Would you like to?
Yes, I do, and I'm going to present a petition that will be, not a petition, an appeal, signed by 48 ping pong players.
Okay, our next item on the agenda is the consent calendar. Oh, thank you so much.
Thank you.
The purpose of the consent calendar is to make a single motion to approve all included items. If for a particular reason an item needs to be discussed or pulled from the consent calendar, then a call to remove that item should be made by a board member. Currently on the consent calendar are the December 15th, 2015 board meeting minutes. Also approval of the November 15th, 2015 financial statements and the recommendation from the Finance Committee for CD and investments. There were no financial analysis requests or approval of liens and foreclosure actions.
Do I have a motion to approve the consent calendar?
So moved.
Motion by Wayne Staples, do I have a second?
Second it.
Second by Jean Sandoval, discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried.
Great, our next item on the agenda is the treasurer's report.
Yes, good afternoon, everyone. Hot off the press is the December financial report. As of the end of December, our total assets were $7.3 million, of which 5.1 was in reserve assets. Our total accounts receivable at the end of December was $48,000, of which we have reserved an amount of $35,000. So our actual exposure at this time would be, if we just stopped business right now, would be $13,000. To give you a little information on the background of this, annual assessments are nearly $4 million a year. If we have a $13,000 hit to the assessments, it's so small, I don't even want to calculate it. In 11 months of this year, I don't have the final number, we wrote off $5,000 in bad debts. Over the 10 years that we've been here, we have only written off $111,000 to collection. In talking with management of, well, it's still the Euclid Management Division of First Residential. They have 250 sites that they manage. Our delinquencies are within the top 3. They didn't tell us whether we were 1, 2, or 3, so it could be any one of those, but within the top 3. We have very, very low assessments. Delinquencies. Our normal monthly assessments are around $300,000. The rule of thumb is that you can have about 15%, I think it was, delinquencies, and that you'd be in good shape. We're down under 1%. What we do, and I wasn't here last month when I guess you talked a little bit about the delinquencies. We have a set procedure that we use for delinquencies. When an account gets to be someplace between 30 and 45 days delinquent, a letter is sent out telling them that we intend to lien the property. That actual lien doesn't go on until the account is 75 days delinquent. The account holder is called to a hearing and asked to explain why they are delinquent. Some of them come in, some of them don't come in. When the amount gets to be about $2,500, we go to small claims court and get small claims judgments. If the person comes in and they're having a problem and, they're having some hard times or has lost a job, we'll work a payment plan. And right now we have three current homeowners, one former homeowner, that are on payment plans, that are paying us a small amount in addition to their current assessments to bring themselves current. In the 8 years that I've been on the board, we've had 3 accounts that have got up into the over $10,000. All the others have been ratified or got down below that and got straightened out. Those 3, the first one was an account that I believe it was like $12,000 delinquency. Now, when we talk about these delinquencies, it's not just assessments. Sometimes it's got legal fees in there, it's got the lien fees, and et cetera in that amount. On that one, we went and got a Superior Court judgment against the person because we did an asset search and we found that this person owned another piece of property in San Bernardino County. We also did some checking on bank accounts, and we were very fortunate. We found this person had a bank account that would cover the judgment. So we collected all the money on that first one. The other two are more recent. One of them was foreclosed upon in October. I think it was October 5th or September 5th. It really didn't make much difference. The person has no assets that we can find anyway. As I said, it's been foreclosed upon, so now they're considered a former resident. And that one, once it settles down, this was a very strange foreclosure because there was some excess funds from the foreclosure. So we put a claim in to see if we can get some money on that. And once we find out that, this one we probably will be writing off to our collection agency. The third one, which is still a current resident, is currently scheduled for foreclosure on the 22nd of this month. Now, just to give you a little history of this, it was scheduled for foreclosure in August, September, October, November, and December. It looks like the bank doesn't want to take this one because if you look on Zillow for this property, it's worth about $300,000. If you look at the legal notice that's published in the Record Gazette, the bank is owed $538,000. So I'm sure the bank doesn't want to take this one. Well, we don't want to take it either. We don't want to go into a foreclosure on this one. But that's the story. We follow these. Our collections have been excellent. You do have a few. We had a very nice one this year. We had a resident who had passed away. Their dues had not been paid for a number of months. It was up over $2,000. Their estate just paid that off. So that's a little background of what our collections are about, how we go about it, and what the numbers seem to be right now. Thank you.
Thanks, Wayne. Okay, next item on our agenda is the report on executive session or action taken between meetings. There was an executive session held this morning at 9 a.m. During that executive session, there were 14 residents called to hearing for outstanding assessments, 8 paid prior to that meeting. There were 2 membership hearings for enforcement matters. One was closed, one was rescheduled. There were some contracts that were renewed. The Springdale earthquake policy was renewed with a decreased premium. The CSAC, we've got a music license that we're obligated to pay to play the music in the lodge and the facility buildings. That was approved for another year with a $1 per year increase. The bistro contract was approved for another year with no change. And for the summit, All About Cleaning Janitorial, Brad Alms Landscaping, and Web Pools were all renewed for another year with no change to their contracts. There was one legal issue reviewed, and the board approved the 2016 staffing plan. So we'll go ahead and start our committee reports with, is there a representative from the Architectural Committee? If not, then I'll invite Bill from the Bistro Committee.
I'm Bill Taylor, Chairman of the Eastern Committee. The committee did not meet in December. The committee does meet on the fourth Tuesday of the month at 11 a.m. in the lodge conference room. All homeowners are invited to attend, but it is suggested you bring cookies to the committee.
That was a terrible solicitation, Bill. Okay, is there a representative from the Communication Committee? If not, how about emergency preparedness? Yep. Yay, Fred.
Okay, I'm Fred Webb from Emergency Preparedness, and we had a very successful night last night when we had 300 people in here attending our El Nino Town Hall meeting. We had opening address by the City of Beaumont, Mike Lara, and we had guest speakers from Red Cross that talked about the origins of El Nino and where the Red Cross evacuation stations would be. I gave a presentation that's tailored for homeowners on what they can do to better protect their home, their property, and their personal belongings from getting ruined from rain. We had 2 reps from CAL FIRE and Riverside County Emergency Services, and they showed us on a map where areas in Beaumont would likely experience flooding, the so-called hotspots, and why we shouldn't try to drive through flowing water, evacuation routes, how to get out of here, the reverse 911 system, and how to get sandbags. We had handouts including new copies of our revised Residence Emergency Handbook, which tells all kinds of information about how to protect yourself in all kinds of disasters. We had raffle drawings where we gave away 2 prizes of 10 filled sandbags delivered to the winners' homes by yours truly. We gave away moisture sensors that can be placed under a sink or in a laundry room or by a leaky water heater that sounds an alarm if water gets on the floor or if rain comes in. And we gave away a bucket of 29 servings of emergency food and also gave away a 55-gallon drum that's used to store water along with the chemical additive that will keep the water for 5 years. And Jerry, I have a bone to pick with you. We had 2 of your folks here last night and they performed admirably. I can't say enough good things about Eric Czar and Cindy Graves. They saw problems before they developed. They kept me calmed down and got me to use the high-tech wireless headset, which even Bill Taylor said worked really fabulous. They were phenomenal. Great help from Gene Sandoval, our board representative, board liaison on our committee. Gave us a lot of good advice, guidance, and direction. I can't say enough about the team spirit that we saw from Eric and Cindy and Gene. And they're great examples of first residential, and in my book, they're first rate. Our next meeting is the 16th of February. Thank you.
Okay, do we have a representative from Finance? How about Landscape? Next would be Rules and Regulations. Carol.
Good afternoon. I would like to say thank you to all of our board members and also to everyone who's here today. Just to say that we also meet on the 2nd Tuesday of each month, as we did this month. And this month, areas that we basically discussed, one of them was the election, which is very important, as Jerry has pointed out today. Also, the main thing on election is just to vote. It's very important that you vote. If you don't vote, we don't get to count everybody's votes. If we don't have a quorum, then it's not a true election of the people. So if you have any questions about the elections, please feel free to ask any of the committee members, Jerry, or any of our board members, because it is a very important section of our community. Also, I would just like to add my special thanks to Cindy, who goes above and beyond on our committees and everything that she does. I think she deserves a big round of applause.
Okay. Any representative from Safeties and Facilities? Cindy will report on our social events. Ad hoc Lodge Spa Building Interior Renovation Committee did not meet, and I don't believe the Technology Committee met. So we'll go ahead and start with our committee information. One item for the board's approval is it is recommended that Ed Paulus be appointed to the Architectural Review Committee.
Do I have a motion to ratify Ed Paulus as a member of the art committee? Yes.
So moved.
Motion by Gene Sandals, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Wayne Staples, discussion? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carried.
There were no club or group application requests. And then we had some homeowner facility use requests. No action is required at this time by the board. So we'll go ahead and go into our activities director report. Cindy?
Geez, no pressure this time.
This better be good.
I know, it better be good. Okay, well, just to let you know, if you were looking very much forward to the fitness boot camp, that was going to be on January 30th. Bad news, Carmen decided to take a cruise instead of help us get Ben. So make a note, you'll have to do extra ping ponging, or you'll have to, I don't know what, do some more tennis or something else, aerobics, who knows. But so sorry on that, jeez, Carmen. So, okay, no fitness boot camp, yeah.
Is a new date set up then?
No, can you believe it? I know. As soon as she gets back from luxuriating, we'll talk. But anyway, okay. And then, now I think you might have heard me mention this last month, but there is a concert you do not want to miss. And it is going to be sponsored by the social committee. It is the True Willie Nelson concert. And it is off the charts. It is really going to be good. Even if you're not a big country fan, the novelty of it will be so worth it. And the tickets are only $20. It's going to be here in the ballroom. It is going to be on, hold on, when's it going to be, you guys? March 19th. March 19th, okay? And it's going to be theater seating. So no dinners or tables and all that. And the tickets are going to go on sale Tuesday, February 9th. Okay? Now, I will tell the truth, and it is a tribute band, but you are never going to know it. I'm telling you, Sun Lakes had them over there. Everybody thought it was the real deal. That guy looks, talks, everything, and the band exactly. I kid you not. I am not over-exaggerating. So if you want to pick somebody out by having them come to a really killer Willie Nelson concert, in fact, I have to tell you, Smitty heard about it. Brian heard about it. He comes running into my office. My mom is a total fan of Willie Nelson. How can you get me some black market tickets? You know? So we'll make sure she gets sponsored somehow. But yeah, Lynette.
Is this Willie Nelson sound younger than the current Willie Nelson?
This Willie Nelson sounds awesome. I'm just telling you.
I'll be there.
Okay, I'll see you there, Lynette. So anyway, mark that down. It's going to be good. It is going to be good.
The date?
What?
Date?
The date is, what did I say? March 19th?
March 19th.
Okay, good. Don't worry, I'll send you Vivian. Yeah, March 19th. And it may get sold out. It actually might get sold out. So don't wait too long to get your tickets, okay? I think we will be squishing in here like 350, maybe a tiny bit more. We don't want fire hazards. I think we can bet like, what, 400 or whatever, 5, whatever. Anyway, don't wait. That's all I'm telling you. Don't wait. Okay, next. If you guys remember the old Friday night at the lodge, I kind of mentioned this also, but just a reminder, we have a new guy, new resident. We're going to help him feel like he's really needed here, which he is. and he's a dancer, and used to be a DJ, and he has offered to do what he wants to call Desert Boogie down. And that's going to be on Friday night. You can bring your dinners on this one. It is totally free. It's just if you want a variety of different genres of music. So we'll have it all set up, kind of karaoke style with the tables and all that. And he's going to just put the music on and start the dancing, and there's no reason to be bored on that night. So, yeah.
Is that going to be every Friday night?
No. So it's really novel. So, but it'll be sprinkled throughout the months. Yeah, so. What?
Just a Friday.
Oh, sorry, 6 o'clock. And that's this
5:30.
I know, January 15th. So that is just this coming Friday. Yeah, and I think the next one, don't write it down, Vivian, is March, I believe, just so you know. So, but watch the calendars and you'll know. But it's just kind of a fun thing to break it up, you know, and just have fun, socialize, point and mock at other people that are dancing if you don't dance, you know, that kind of thing. It keeps it light around here.
Cindy,
Yes.
if they look in the breeze on the yearly calendar, it's listed.
See what Jackie says? Okay, it's listed on the yearly calendar. So there's an annual calendar in the breeze, and it'll be listed under like upcoming events, and they'll be showing you the different ones. So feel free to check that out. I will give you a little hint that some things are subject to change, but right now everything's pretty good. You know how that goes. Thank you, Fitness Boot Camp. Subject to change. Okay, next thing is karaoke is really trying to get a little bit more organized this year. And this Saturday is going to be the first karaoke of the year. And they're going to be handing out, which will make it handier for you because they tend to be varied weeks during the weekends during the month. So they're going to give you a calendar of what to expect for karaoke and what days they're going to be on. So that will be fun. And then, now, here's the big secret. I kind of touched on it last year, and it got rearranged, okay? Guess what? It's getting rearranged for February, and that is the Travel Club, Travel Expo. So if you like getting new ideas for fun travel packages, good deals, just kind of seeing what's out there, there is going to be a travel expo on Friday night. So you can plan a dinner and then cruise on in the ballroom. And there's going to be some presentations. There's going to be some tables, different people you can talk to. I'm hoping to get, well, right now we have like, I want to say 5 booked different touristy stuff, like cruises and things like that you can check out that offer multiple packages of different things. And then right now we're working with trying to get some of the more local excursions, you know, like the balloon thing in Temecula, and a bunch of some of the other things we don't even think about that are more local, so you don't have to, it's not going to cost a lot of money, but just something fun to do if you want to do something on a weekend or whatever. And maybe even, I'm trying to get Gad about to come over too, and that will give a list of cool bus tours for the year, in case you don't want to drive somewhere, you just want to go have fun and do something. So that's what I'm looking for. I think it'll be fun. Oh, my Dick Tracy watch is sorry, I'm not doing now. They forgot to tell me to turn off my watch. Okay. Anyway, so mark that down though, because you're like, what? Oh, Friday, February 19th. And it's going to be from 4 to 8. So come maybe before dinner and then have dinner after. You could do that. So, great. It is promising to be a killer great year in getting everything all ready and booked. We have the majority of 2016 solidly booked. So, yeah, so get ready. Get your dancing shoes on, get your jogging shoes on, and be ready to fly to all the fun things we got going on. Yes?
What about like little bus trips to like Las Vegas?
What about that?
Exactly.
What about that?
Exactly.
Come to the Travel Club, and I hope off that Gadabal won't be there. Okay, because they are really good at doing that kind of stuff. So we're good. All right, thanks you guys for everything.
I wanted to, since we're talking about social events and all those kinds of things, it's not exciting news, I think, for Cindy. One of the things Jerry had mentioned earlier that we had approved the staffing plan for 2016. And we all know that we've got, what, 70 groups and clubs now, something like that? And some of you are probably involved with all the craziness over the holidays with everything going on and so many activities happening all at the same time. Well, as we've grown from the 500 homes when Cindy first started, or what is it, maybe 600 homes, we've gained, we're up to around 1,300 homes. And along with that has become a great, I mean, the expanse of responsibility that Cindy has been taken on is just growing exponentially over the years. And so one of the changes that we've approved is we're going to get Cindy some help. Because she not only is taking care of all, of trying to facilitate the activities here in the lodge, and we'll be having Rec Center 3 pretty soon, and we should have the summit. She always has been taking care of the website for the Breeze, and also being the staff liaison to the Breeze, which incorporates, it takes a lot of time. And so we really think that she needs that extra assistance. One of the things that happened before, I'm not sure what day that you actually sent the letter, there was an email there, a letter that went out to all the groups and clubs, chairmen and the captains, and trying to just explain what the different responsibilities are for her staff and herself, and the responsibilities of each of the groups and things like that. Well, we want to get that kind of information now. We want to kind of educate the residents also that all the events that happen, there's only actually maybe 2 or 3 events throughout the year that Cindy herself is actually responsible for the content of, when it happens, who it happens, and who's coming, and that kind of things. All the other events that we've all able to participate in are actually run by the different clubs, groups, or the social committee. And sometimes there's, when you go to an event and you might have a compliment or even a concern, or maybe there was something that you thought could have been done better, the best people to go to, and this is what we want to try to educate the residents, is the sponsor, whoever actually put on that event. Because otherwise, if you tell Cindy, then she just has to relay that information to whoever the group's chair people were, and that your compliments and all could be, well, it just gets changed, I think it'd be better to hear a compliment from the people, right to the people that are responsible. And also that's going to help Cindy in that she's facilitating the event to happen, make sure the chairs and tables and things and sound and all that's going on. But she really can't respond to other aspects of an event that goes on. So pass that along, that if you're at events or something, you have a comment regarding it, go to the people that run it, and you're going to get a lot quicker response, I think, in getting them feeling good because they did such a wonderful job, or if there was something that could be
I'm not taking
better.
any more compliments, you guys. I'm just saying now.
You can compliment anytime you want to. Okay. So anyway, help is coming. Yay! Okay.
Okay, thank you. All right, we'll go ahead and move on into the management report. Just a brief synopsis of our activities. We were monitoring and acting on 341 action items in December. 275 of those action items were responded to within 2 hours, and over 100 of those were closed within the month of December. Okay, we also have the correspondence log and communications. Are there any questions regarding those communications? If not, we'll go ahead and we like to hear about the suggestions. We always get a chuckle out of a couple of them.
What page is that?
That's on page 99. We'll start with the lodge suggestions. Number 1 is prefer CNN on the TV at Smitty's instead of Fox News. Many find Fox News to be too political and offensive. Any direction?
I think, you know, I think they turn the TV on, and if someone asks for a channel, they might accommodate that if there's 1 or 2 people, and there might be nobody really watching it, so just ask if it can be changed if there's a problem with that.
Okay. Either put a stop sign at the yield mark or redefine what yield means to homeowners. Many are not pausing at the yield zone. I don't know how to train for that. Okay. Number 3, put a speed bump and speed dots in front of the gate area to slow residents after they come through the gate. By the time they get to the traffic circle, they are flying. Many don't yield to vehicles in the circle. Speed bump would slow the vehicles down after entering.
This is one item that actually the Safety Facilities Committee discussed this last week, and not just because of the people coming into the circle too quickly, but if there's also a cutout there that is a crosswalk. And there's been a number of times people are surprised that someone is actually walking across the street at that point. And so we are looking at ways to slow people down and let them know that there is a crosswalk there, and also that would probably take care of the problem of coming into that circle too quickly. So that is currently being researched to see what the best way is to handle that.
Number 4, trail marker sign located at the end of Yellowstone Park is missing a bolt and a nut. This is part of Trail C. If it hasn't been done, we'll make sure that that is taken care of. Number 5, when replacing brick on grounds in turnarounds, please replace with an embossed concrete. Okay. Number 6, Jacuzzi Spot Lodge is not functioning, heat, or operational. I think that is on our repair list. We were waiting for parts. I believe it was supposed to be repaired by yesterday. I have not confirmed that yet. The nature display signs along the walking trails are so badly faded that they are practically unreadable. They should be replaced with newly printed ones using fade-resistant inks if possible.
This is something else that we are working on. It will be a while before it's actually changed, but we've taken out some of the older ones, and we'll be replacing the signs with better pictures, of course, but we're also looking at, in the not too distant future, we are going to be taking over responsibility for the mitigation area and some of that. And along with that, there has become, we've actually have a list of some of the animals that are in our area. And what we're looking to provide and put together is actually a pamphlet or brochure that will give a description or a listing of all the birds and the mammals and some of the other interesting facts out there, the plant life, and what that, how that mitigation is and how it works, and to make it much more comprehensive so when you walk the trails you can enjoy them more. So that will be a while in the making, but that is on the boards to get accomplished.
Okay, next item is lighting needed in the area of the gym and the ballroom lodge buildings. Extremely dark, only light seems to be at the pool area. Safety, trip and fall hazard to person leaving the pool and gym area at night.
And I think we're sending this to safety.
That went to Safeties and Facilities for their consideration at the February meeting. Okay, moving on to, these are suggestions that were picked up at the summit, and there is a request for an additional bench in the women's locker room, and we're checking to see if there's a location where we can put one. Need our card room, do not change it, give it back. You broke up our home and our family card groups. The lady who manages the front desk is awesome. Please make a big sign by the showers in the pool area that read, everyone to rinse themselves before entering the pool. First, for good health and for all. Thanks. And we do not have a sign, so we can definitely get one and put it up. Connect TV signal to the exercise machines because, number 1, it is too dangerous to watch TV on the machine. Number 2, everybody will be happy to watch what he or she wants without being offensive to anyone else. And I think we're looking into if we can do that.
Right.
Replace sand in horseshoe pit with red clay as sand covers the shoes so they can't be seen. I believe this will be submitted to Safeties and Facilities. The chlorine or whatever chemical he is using is so strong, it is stripping the color out of my hair. The odor is staying on my bathing suit, and there's a rash on my body and eyes too. We've had it checked. The levels are correct according to the system standards. However, there may be some adjustments that can be made so we decrease this problem. So that's under investigation. Place a rug or shower mat and bench inside the shower. The tile is cold in the shower and one has to dress outside the shower in the open area. I think we're looking at what kind of bench we can get in there. I think it's appropriate that we have something in all the showers. Okay, with that, the management report is complete. We don't have any old business items, so I'll go ahead and turn it over to Eric to cover our new business items.
And first up on new business is on page 103, installation of a flagpole at the summit. This would be a 2 foot by 2 foot by 2 foot base with stone veneer. Cost would be better. So this would be to install a 2 foot by 2 foot by 2 foot base of cement with stone veneer at the summit for a flagpole. The cost for this installation would be $1,840.
Do I have a motion to approve the proposal from management for the installation of the flag base at the summit in an amount of $1,840 by Dave Goodwin Masonry?
So moved.
Motion by Wayne Staples. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Jean Standable. Do I have a discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried.
Next on the agenda on page 105 is a proposal to replace a broken ping pong table with a new Kettler table tennis table. Cost would be $999. It would be a reserve expense under furnishings.
Do I have a motion to approve the request to purchase a replacement ping pong table in the amount of $999.99?
So moved. Second.
Moved by Jean Sandoval, second Wayne Staples. Discussion?
This is the table that was recommended by Dawn and Niall, so if you have any problems with it afterwards,
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Next is a enforcement policy amendment that has gone out for homeowner comment per the 30-day standard through the civil code.
Okay, I think this is the one regarding the suspension of using the gate transponders to access the community in certain situations. I think there's been some misunderstanding regarding this particular rule, or not rule change. Actually, it's a policy change. It's not a rule. We wanted to send this out to the residents for your information, but it's not a rule in a type of rule that would normally go out to the association residents. This is not any of the things that we do that in this one talks about suspending their rights to a person's rights to use the lodge and such as that. We don't use these arbitrarily. These are tools that we put into place so that we can get attention, a resident's attention when they're not paying their assessments. Sometimes it's just the threat of being liened is enough and they come in and they get things clarified. Sometimes losing their rights to use the building gets their attention and they come in and make good on their assessments. And as Wayne said, if people are in a hardship, we work with them the best we can. We don't want them to lose their home. We don't want them to not become residents, but we want to be sure that the association is receiving the monies due to them under the contract that has been signed by each resident that comes in here. This particular addition, which would actually turn off their transponder so that they would either have to use their gate code or go through the gate attendant to come into the community, is not illegal. We are not denying a person access to the community. It's just, again, a tool to get their attention that come and talk to us. We need to discuss what is, why aren't you paying your dues? You owe these monies per the contract that you agreed to when you moved into this community. And so that is just another tool. This will not be used arbitrarily. It's one of the things that a last-ditch effort to get someone's attention to at least correspond with us. There's some instances when they don't come into the hearing, they don't call, it's like they ignore us completely. And so we can't even work with them to help them get current with their due situation. So that, I think there was some misunderstanding of how this is going to be used, why it's going to be used, and the impact that it would have. So going forward with that, in this there were comments for, I guess there were 48 comments that showed against of the 1,200 homes here in the community. And that's why I thought that there was some misunderstanding on how it was going to be used and why it was going to be used.
Can
So,
I say something, please?
no,
I know it's
no,
complete, but if you had posted if there was a way for us to have read the agenda prior to the meeting, I would like to have been up there and made some comments.
All agendas are posted at least 4 days prior to any meeting. Please sit down.
Percentage of those people.
Please sit down.
I'm sorry, the percentage is so small that why change a rule that works?
This is not a rule, this is a policy. I think you need to have the differentiation. This is not a rule, this is a policy. So, in that, do I have a motion to approve the change to our enforcement guidelines to add the suspend the use of gate access transponders?
So moved.
Moved by Wayne Staples, to a second.
Second.
Second by Jean Sandoval. Discussion? Discussion? No. No? Discussion? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carried.
Next on page 109 is a proposal from the Emergency Preparedness Committee, who had a very successful town hall last night, seeking reimbursement of an amount not to exceed $200 for the prizes that were distributed last night.
Do I have a motion to approve the request from EPC for reimbursement not to exceed $200 for the prizes that were for their town hall meeting?
So moved.
Motion by Jean Sandoval. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second, Wayne Staples. Discussion? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carried.
That concludes new business. The announcement of the next meeting of the open session of the board will be Thursday, February 11th at 1 p.m. here in the Lodge Ballroom.
Do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Motion by Wayne Staples. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carried. We are adjourned.